Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to focus on two bobs. We're going to do a wig review on MACI and ANASTASIA by Paula Young. So stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Coco and this is Coco's Hair Solutions. So this is going to be a twofer. You get two reviews for the price of one. And what we're going to do is compare two bobs that are very close to the same thing, and we want to know and get to the bottom of what makes them different and how's that going to translate to you. So we'll begin by taking a look at them side by side. Obviously, they're a little bit different shade of color, which has nothing to do with the shape and form of it. But just so that you know, we have MACI in the color light auburn, and we have ANASTASIA in the color medium auburn. They're both available in either color. In fact, they're both available in exactly the same colors. There's 21 colors. But MACI is available in one additional color, and that's a limited edition called Spun Gold. So you can also get her in that, and that's the color that she's shown in the magazine. So let's talk about the dimensions of these wigs. Number one, they're both a little bit, somewhere between your jaw and your collarbone, this bob is going to hit you, depending on the height of your face. Now, I'm an 8-inch from my chin to my hairline, and so when I put these on, you'll be able to see exactly where does that hit me. And if you measure yourself against what mine is, then you'll be able to figure out, well, it's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, because a lot of the times when they show these bobs hitting people certain places in these pictures, that doesn't always translate exactly to my situation. So I have my measurements, I know what I look for. But let's take a look at the measurements of each of them, okay? ANASTASIA is 2.8 ounces. MACI is 3 ounces, just 0.2 ounces heavier, that's all. They both have a mono crown, and we will look at that cap construction after we look at the dimensions, okay? MACI is a whisper light, so the fibers are much finer. And that means that ANASTASIA is going to feel a little heavier. Man, that might be part of the reason. Well, no, she's lighter actually. So, but the fibers themselves are going to be a little bit larger, just microscopically. But okay, so for the front, on MACI we have 3 inches, and on ANASTASIA we have 4.75. So we've got a longer fringe here in the front on ANASTASIA. For the top, that means this part right up here, ANASTASIA is 10. She's top right here, and on the crown, she's 10 inches. MACI, on the other hand, is 10.5 inches on the top and the crown. So you're going to get a little bit longer bob length-wise on MACI than you are going to get it on ANASTASIA. The sides, there's a big difference here now. On ANASTASIA, the sides are only 4.5. On MACI, the sides are 6.25, 6.25 inches. So this one's going to be longer. It's going to hit longer than the ANASTASIA will. So MACI's going to be a little bit longer. The upper back for MACI, the upper back is 8.75 inches. So that's going to be a distance there, 8.75. The upper back for ANASTASIA is 9, so they're really close in that respect. But obviously we've got some side length that's going to be different. The nape is exactly the same on both of them. They're 3 inches. So to summarize, we've got a little bit longer fringe on this, on ANASTASIA, and then on the sides, we have longer sides on MACI. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cap construction on these girls. They're both the same. They're part of the monofilament line. And what we're going to see is in the center up here, right at the crown, you're going to have a monofilament mesh right there. We do have the closed lace and a nice wide velvet pad for the front band, which will make it very, very comfortable. We have velvet ear tabs, and then an extended nape that is velvet as well. We've got Velcro closures. And so this ought to be a very, very comfortable wig to wear. That's Anastasia. Let's take a look at MACI in case we run into any surprises. So it looks like we have a little bit larger monofilament up here on the crown. We have the same velvet front band, the same closed lace on the top. We have the velvet nape, but it's not extended. This one is not extended. And then the velvet ear adjusters. So a few minor details. They both have this beautiful stitching of hair on the underside of the ear tabs, which makes it look very, very nice. And so let's go ahead and see what they look like in difference. Now, what I'm wearing today is an Amazon wig. I have not yet done a review on her, but I will get that up, and it's going to be Amazon wig number 2. So anyway, I'll go ahead and do that then. So, and then I'm wearing my wire headband. It's just a long piece of cloth with a wire in it, and we can do it, tie a bow up here. Anyway, I'll put the link to that down below as well. Let me go ahead. Now let's go ahead and we'll try on MACI first. Okay. So MACI again is going to have the same, let's see, a little bit shorter front. Let me get my tag. There. She does not have an extended nape. She has 6 1/4 sides. So the sides are a little bit longer. Okay, so she is definitely a bob. And this is the light auburn color. So for 6 1/2 inches, or 6 1/4 inches, I am seeing that this is hitting me right below my jaw. Okay, so I'm sure I can part her just about anywhere. Part her on the right or the left. I would probably, you could leave the bangs. Gosh, that's not too bad coming straight out of the box. We could feather them. I could probably just push and crease with the heat of my fingers, just that little bit right here in front, to give it a little bit of lift so that they don't lay flat on my forehead and collect any of my makeup or oils from my skin. Okay, let's go ahead and, well, there's not a whole lot to do to this girl when you put her on, is there? So let's go ahead and I'll do a spin for you. This is MACI. So I can feel that the bob comes down below on my neckline very nicely. It feels good. It's up off of my collar area. So I'm not going to run into a lot of friction frizz down here along the bottom. This would be a good length for that. Okay. All right. So you could easily, if your color match to your wig, if your sideburns are color matched to this, you could easily put her behind your ears. This would be what I would think to be a really good work wig. If you like bobs and they're easy and neat and that's what you like, this would be something I would wear to work. And I did for a long time when I was wearing wigs and I was going to work. So the color is nice, isn't it? That's 27 light auburn. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a length here. This is 6 1/4. Now, the sides on Anastasia are going to be shorter, and we'll just have to see how it compares. All right, you ready to switch over? Let's do that. Okay. That was MACI, and this is Anastasia. Same features, a little bit more of a, we've got an extended nape. The cap on MACI felt very comfortable. It was plenty roomy enough. It wasn't hugely roomy, but it was comfortable. Okay, let's see. All right. I think I might need to use my comb. Okay, the fringe on the top here at the bangs is longer. So again, seeing that it's laying flat against my face, on my forehead, I am going to at least begin with right now pressing on the bang area to fold it back up against, you know, heading in the opposite direction. They're just coming off of the wig cap this way. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to lift them up this way by putting a crease where they are attached to the edge of the wig cap. And you know, I'm going to just quickly do a touch up with my hot air brush. I always keep that handy when I first begin to try on my wigs, because it's so easy to fix the bangs with just this. This hot air brush does not get hotter than 350 degrees. So now I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing that, but you can see with just a little bit there. Okay, so go back to the monofilament part my hair off from the side. So we've got a little bit, that longer fringe. And it feels like it's about the same length in the back. So let me do a spin. Does one look longer on the front? I think this one, okay, this is Anastasia. Its sides are shorter. They're 4.5 inches versus 6 1/4. So what I think we have here is MACI has a tendency to look more like an A-line bob. It starts with the same length here and might come down farther in the front. Anastasia, on the other hand, is going to maintain that same level as the ground. So you don't have that A-line appearance. Everything appears to be pretty straight and even as far as the bob goes. I'll put MACI back on and we'll take a look at that. But that's my instinct. That's what that tells me. So this is a beautiful color too. It's very nice. It's more of a brown with some reds in a way, but it is considered auburn. Okay, so we can part it one side or the other. Let's take a look at that monofilament. I hope you can see. Let's see if I can get there close enough. I'm going to pull that. This is where the monofilament top is. Yeah, and we could, yeah, you could part it anywhere with this type of treatment at the top. It does have that closed lace, so we have a little bit of permatease, but not a lot. Let's put this back on. Let's see if we've got the sides obviously being longer on this one. Okay, we have a more blunt bang on MACI. So that's the main thing. The bangs are already cut and trimmed, whereas on Anastasia, you could trim them. They're longer. Okay. Okay, so how did the sides look on this one? Does it look to be like, are these longer, and do they give you that A-line appearance? It feels like this MACI has a little less density right at the base. So it might be tapered or razor cut as it gets to this lower border. So I can see that, you know, probably it's a little more streamlined, not quite so full down in this area. That I think Anastasia has a little more of a blunt cut here along the edges. And this lays flatter, this does. So there's a couple of main features between the two of them that are going to be different. Number one is the bang, okay? One's going to be obviously already trimmed and more straight across, but that shouldn't stop you from, you know, doing your own customization to it if you like. They both have the monofilament top. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see if I can get... I don't know if I'm being good enough here with that, but hopefully, you know, they're both the same on the top. With that monofilament top, I have to say that this sits very nicely on my head. I don't feel like I have a lot of bulk. This feels like it might have less permatease than Anastasia. I think Anastasia has a little bit more permatease on the top. Yeah. Just a little bit, because every row of wefting and all the curtains all have some form of permatease at the base. Not a lot, but there is some. This feels very flat. So that would be what I would say mostly, is that MACI is going to fit you a lot flatter. It has less density. And so if you're not used to having a lot of hair, MACI might be the right choice for you. She's a cute cut, and so is Anastasia. So it just is a matter of getting, you know, knowing what the difference is. It's going to fit closer to your scalp. It's going to feel like it's real. And of course, they're both great little bobs. Yeah. This one is definitely less dense right at the ends. They feel like they've been razor cut to be contoured and go underneath, where Anastasia is a little more blunt. Okay, well, I hope this has been helpful for you. It's a surprise to me to notice that there are those differences between these wigs, and you know, you don't know that unless you actually buy them both at the same time. So anyway, I hope I saved you the trouble of having to do that, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I had fun doing this. And if there's any suggestions that you have for me for future videos, please go ahead and leave a comment in the bottom in the comment box, and we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.